Salutare doamnelor și domnilor, sunt Traian Stoianov și începem interviul cu excelența sa Maria Capitanovici, ambasadoarea Croației la Chișinău cu sediul la București. Your Excellency, greetings from Chișinău and welcome.
Thank you for welcoming me.
You are one of the few diplomats accredited to two countries, Romania and Republic of Moldova. To start, I would like to ask you how often you visit Chișinău and what are the main activities you carry out during your visits. I understand that this time you are here to celebrate Europe Day.
Indeed, I'm here this time for the celebrations of the Europe Day. The celebrations will going to take place tomorrow at the main square in Chișinău, and Croatia will be represented by the stand, its own stand. We will be showcasing to the Moldovan people, to the Moldovan public, the main spots in Croatia, touristic. As you might know, Croatia is a very well-known touristic country with a long coast over more than 1,000 kilometers, and on top of that we have more than 1,000 islands.
You're so
Small
lucky.
and big one. Yes, we've been lucky with the geographical position. Our sea, it's named Adriatic Sea. It's part of the Mediterranean basin, and we will be also having traditional Croatian sweets in order to present, and some products of the Croatian companies operating in Moldova. We are based in Bucharest and we cover Moldova from Bucharest. It's always a pleasure to come here. Usually I come for different kinds of meetings with the central institutions on the central level, with the local institutions. And we discuss and make plans for our future activities regarding our bilateral cooperation, but also in connection with Moldova's European pact. We discuss how to help Moldova, how Croatia can support Moldova in terms of transferring its experience, knowledge. As you might know, Croatia was the last one to join the European Union. I couldn't say that Croatia is the youngest member state because we are now already more than 10 years member state, but nevertheless our memories are the freshest one.
During your short visits to our country, what have you managed to explore, and where do you feel most comfortable? And do you believe the Republic of Moldova is attractive from a tourism perspective? And how can we attract foreign visitors to discover our country?
During these years, since I'm coming regularly to Moldova, I had the opportunity to visit many places. Of course, Chișinău is the capital, and every year it's getting nicer and nicer, I have to say. And in particular, it's very pleasant to be in Chișinău during the springtime and autumn with so many parks and green areas, and it's very nice to see, and it's also clean. Then, speaking about Moldova, definitely I would point out the nature, the landscapes, beautiful scenarios with vineyards, sunflowers and grain parts, fields, with fields of apple trees. This is something that is really stunning. And then, of course, maybe speaking about the urban places, I would mention Old Orhei with its cave monasteries, churches, archaeological sites, monasteries like Tipova Monastery. Very nice. And I like it very much. But I have to stress that the nature is the one that it's really nice, mild, with lots of greenery, small hills. I like it very much. Speaking about tourism, definitely there is a potential. Your country is a continental country. there is a potential for developing also rural tourism, as I see it, maybe with a small, we call it in Croatia, agritourisms, offering the accommodation plus gastronomic offer, something typical of the Moldovan cuisine. For instance, this is something that in Croatia is very much developed. In order to promote the local cuisine, the local habits, and many of these small agritourism places, usually run by the families, were reconstructed or set up also partly by the money from the European funds.
Your Excellency, like you said before, Croatia is the youngest member state of the European Union, soon marking 12 years as part of the European family. So what are the main advantages of European integration that Croatian citizens are experiencing today?
Speaking about the advantages, there are many. I have to stress at the beginning that not all of them are tangible and visible immediately. Maybe this is one of the, I have to say, biggest challenges of this European integration path, because it takes time. For instance, Croatia started in the early 2000s, its European path, and we finished in 2013. So not many things are visible and tangible immediately, but on the medium and long run, there are many benefits. I would mention just a few of them. Croatia, in case of Croatia, Croatia consolidated, for instance, its position on the European stage, in the European family. Croatia is a small country. We are 3,800,000. So for us, it was also a matter to being a part of the family and to being more visible. Economic opportunities were opened. It has brought us economic benefits, like a better living standard, improving in the living standard of the ordinary people, I'm talking, economic growth, a gradual rise in the salaries, drop in unemployment, a good interest rate. This is also important for the citizens. Just to mention, unemployment rate in 2013, when we were joining European Union, was about 17%. Now we are around 5%. So it shows you very clearly the advantages. The real wage growth has been recorded. Household income growth also is much better. Savings, private savings. The other benefit I would like to mention, for instance, the field of agriculture. In the field of agriculture, the small farmers, but also agricultural producing sector, they had to adjust to the food safety standards, sanitary standards, veterinary, phytosanitary. At the beginning, it was not easy because they had to change a lot of things in storaging the food, hygiene, food standards. But at the end, it was worth, because the farmers and the agricultural producers nowadays are more competitive on the market, on the European market, with their products. One maybe of the best examples after we joined the European Union, it's the construction of the bridge, Pelješac Bridge, which connects a mainland of Croatia with the peninsula. And in that Pelješac, called Pelješac, but it's bridge over the Adriatic Sea. But in that way, we managed to connect it the southern part of the country, because we have very peculiar situation that part of our territory, it's cut because our neighboring country, Bosnia and Herzegovina, has the exit to the sea. So in our case, the citizens of, for instance, of Dubrovnik, which is the southest part of our country, when they were going or coming back home, they had to transit the territory of Bosnia and Herzegovina. With this bridge, we managed to overcome this, so they don't have to go through the borders and so to the border, and also the goods, the transit of goods doesn't have to go through the customs procedure. And this bridge was financed by the European Union. It's 400 million worth project, out of which 357 million were financed by the EU, by the European money. So this is a very tangible thing. And altogether, the bridge, with constructing the bridge, the travel time has been cut by 37 minutes. Which means a lot for the local population.
I understand. But also, I understand that the citizens, they want changes and they want to happen very fast. So I want to ask you, how soon after joining the EU were noticeable these positive changes felt, and when did citizens begin to live better?
What was visible in an immediate period after we joined the European Union was the greater mobility for the students. They were able to go to study, the opportunities. There were much more opportunities for the students to go to study abroad, or just to do a part of the studying process, like a master programs abroad. And the other thing, in general, the mobility of the passengers. Although we joined the Schengen area 2 years at the beginning of 2023, but nevertheless, transiting the border, the process already when we joined the European Union was much easier. One of the immediate, then free movement of workers. After a couple of years, our workers were able to go I mean, the procedure of getting the work in other member states was much simpler and faster. Then there are some things that were more visible in a couple of years, maybe after 5 years, like economic standard, for instance, the growth, the economic growth, the increase of the salaries, the drop of unemployment. This happened, I would say, after 5-6 years after we joined the European Union. It requires this process. I know that the citizens, they want to see immediate changes, but nevertheless, it's worth to go to this process. And there is a need for a little bit of patience, but in the long run, it's really worth it, because what I can say from the example of my country, the living standard, it's better, and as well, once we joined the European Union, the amount of money from the European fund increases even more, and the people were able to use it. Many, for instance, I can also give you very specific example. I know many of my friends who were able to use the money from the European funds in order to build small country houses for the tourist accommodation in the countryside with the small swimming pools. So they were able to do this thanks to the EU money.
For sure, Croatia could be an example for Moldova, and I would like to ask you about the practices. What best practices should Moldova adopt from Croatia to advance the path of European integration?
Speaking about the best practices, first thing I would mention the political consensus. It's very important to have the consensus in the parliament, in the national parliament, about the European integration path. At the beginning, when we started the process, this was in 2000, at the beginning of 2000, all the political parties in the parliament made a kind of a political alliance for the European project. What does it mean? That there was a general consensus that all the political parties will work and will help and support the government for the European path and in order for Croatia to become a member. So that was one thing. The second thing, it was very important, the good coordination and cooperation between the government institutions who were in charge of performing the reforms, and the good coordination among them. Of course, working on the reforms. Some of them were quite difficult, like, I don't know, justice reform. But nevertheless, there was agreement and there was a will to work on it. What helped us also a lot, it was the scholarship program for the civil servants, which means that the government was financing the scholarships abroad, in the mainly in the EU member states, for the young civil servants. They were doing a master's in European integration. Once they were coming back, they were obliged to work in the public administration for 3 or 5 years. They signed a contract with the government, and they were coming back with the knowledge gained and acquired from all their member states, and they were able to put in practice this knowledge. On top of that, they were bringing a new the energy and willingness to work on these matters. So, and this was a very good thing, because we have had the good balance between the young civil servants and between the more experienced civil servants, in order to work effectively on the reforms.
How do you think, what messages should be conveyed to citizens to help them understand the importance of continuing the Western trajectory as the only path that can ensure the security of our country, of the Republic of Moldova?
Maybe I would mention as the first thing is the member states of the European Union have a pretty good living standard. I think this is very tangible, visible for everyone who goes to visit member states and so on. Of course, between the member states there are differences, but nevertheless, the living standard is good. And people, the citizens of European Union, they live in a kind of comfortable position. Majority of them, of course, that they don't have to. I mean, when we speak about the member states, we cannot speak about the poverty. I mean, the poverty exists, but it's not in a big numbers. The people, the families, they are able to live a decent life, which is very important. That they can, they can afford themselves from their salaries to pay the utilities, to have holidays, maybe summer holidays, winter holidays, to be able to do their hobbies, to pay for them. I think this is very important, and this is what European Union it is. For instance,
and they feel themselves in safe.
Exactly, they feel safe, that they don't have to think about whether they are going to manage by the end of the month. As I mentioned, I don't know, once they are retired, they can think about, I don't know, buy the houses somewhere on the Mediterranean, in the Mediterranean member states, spend their retirement time on the seaside or somewhere else in the mountains. Anyway, what I said, decent life, and this is something that every the citizens, I mean the people of any country, deserve, and this is the European Union. It's the place where you can feel where you can feel the well-being, and this is very important. Also, what is very important, most of the member states have a good educational system. the young people are able to study in good universities, then later on are able to get employment in a good companies, or maybe some of them can work in a private sector. One thing also has to be stressed that the people and especially in the private sector, the working hours are tough, and one has to work a lot. But nevertheless, you work a lot, but you are rewarded by the good salary. You can afford yourself the things that you like to do, the traveling, whatsoever. It depends of the individual preferences. I would say that yes, this is the European Union.
And
well-being.
Yes,
Yeah.
I understand. Also, what should the citizens of Republic of Moldova know about the country's friends and foes, and how can they identify those who wish the country well versus those with hidden agendas?
Every country, I think that every country has neighbors with whom they are with the neighbors, it can be that you are in a very good relations, but with the neighbors it can happen that you have open issues and so on. This is a normal thing. Of course, speaking about the international relations, there are always countries with whom you have more friendly relations, and then there are categories of countries with whom the relations are more difficult, be it because of the past, be it because of the many open issues. So this is simply the reality of the international relations. Usually this is up to the political class and to the governments to tackle with these issues, and in these relations to take care about the national interest, the interest of their country. Of course, what is important that nowadays the media, the flow of information is so fast, and the people are exposed to the social networks with a lot of information, and as well among this information can be some fake information and so on. I think what is important in everyday life for all of us, it's to be able to read between the lines and to understand that not every information that we get should be taken literally and for granted. This is important, but this also comes with the good education. Yeah, and that's why education, it's very important. It's important in terms of how to process the information and to have some a level of very healthy distance and analysis when we take the information.
We are not very close neighbors, but Republic of Moldova and Croatia, we have had over 30 years of collaborative relations. What has Croatia's support been like during this time, and what assistance does our country currently receive from Croatia on its path to European integration?
Yes, indeed, nowadays we are benefiting of more than 30 years of diplomatic relations between our two countries. Croatia is a staunch supporter. In general, Croatia is a strong supporter of the enlargement process to Moldova and Ukraine, but as well, let me mention also the enlargement process to the Western Balkan countries. They are our immediate neighbors, and we are also helping them very much, and we are looking forward also to have them in the European family together with Moldova and Ukraine. We help Moldova in exchanging the experiences and our knowledge from the European integration process. So far, more than 700 Moldovan civil servants have participated in different kinds of both online or in-person training in Croatia, tackling with different sectors of the reforms, being regarding the rule of law or education or some sectoral things like competition policies and so on. Moreover, when started the war in Ukraine, Croatia helped Moldova immediately with the humanitarian assistance in order to tackle with the refugee flow. Later on, through our development aid, we helped Moldova in purchasing electrical power generators. This was at the time of the energy crisis in Moldova, and these power generations were donated to social care institutions like rehabilitation centers, auxiliary schools, schools attended by the children with special needs, vulnerable categories. And I am also very much glad that I can also announce that Croatia will be also financing in cooperation with the UNICEF Moldova. UNICEF Moldova is going to be the implementing body for our projects. We will help Moldovan institutions, mainly preschool institutions, in improving the energy efficiency. Basically, to put it very simply, we will finance the energy reconstruction of the kindergartens in order to be with putting the panels, solar panels, in order to be more energy efficient, in order to spend less energy in the winter time. And altogether, the government of Croatia has approved in this phase 600,000 euros for this kind of project. Also, the projects like Steam on Wheel, in order to be able to empower the kids, especially the girls, to have the informatic skills in order to be able later on to find a job more easily. So this is mainly where Croatia is working. So in helping the development and improvement of the educational and social care institutions, plus we help on the central level with our experiences and our support in the European integration path.
Your Excellency, but it means that we can be confident that Croatia's support and assistance for our country will continue in the coming years, or?
Definitely, Croatia will continue to support Moldova. As I said, we are a staunch supporter of the enlargement process. We went through this process. We know what does it mean to be the country in the undergoing the reforms, undergoing the transformation process, and Croatia will definitely continue to support Moldova on this path. And let me stress why we will be going to support Moldova on this path, primarily in order to achieve a better living standards for your citizens and a better life.
And at the end, I would like to ask you, what would you say to foreigners who ask about the Republic of Moldova, about its people, challenges, and reasons to be proud?
Oh, there are many reasons to be proud. Your people. I had the opportunity to meet them. Also today, I did a field visit in a countryside. You have resilient people. Your past was not easy, but the people are resilient, modest, very kind and warm. And this is something that I would always stress as a first feature of your country. The second, the beautiful nature, excellent wine. Many nice places and wineries to be visited. your wine is one of the best, I would say, in not only in the European context but also in the world terms. I would also mention and stress that your capital, Chișinău, it's very vibrant, developing more and more, and definitely the country that it's worth to be visited, the people that needs to be met for their hospitality, and the last one, but not the least, is the cuisine. Many delicious things, your gastronomy, like, I don't know, sarmale, placinte.
Sorry for my question, but which is your favorite dish from our
sarmale.
cuisine? Sarmale. Oh, we have the same taste.
Sarmale, definitely, it's something that, and the wine, fetasca negra, fetasca alba.
Thank you very much for
Yes.
kindly words.
So
Thank you.
many nice things, yes.
We would like to thank you that you accept our invitation, and it was a pleasure for me to discuss, and a big thanks to Croatia for all their support. We wish you good luck and have a nice journey here in Moldova these days.
You are welcome, and see you tomorrow
Yeah, for sure.
on the main square for celebrating the European Day. And
Thank
thank
you
you
very
for
much.
the invitation.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Doamnelor și domnilor, ați asistat la interviul cu excelența sa Maria Capitanovici, ambasadoarea Croației la Chișinău, cu sediul la București. Eu vă mulțumesc pentru atenție și ne revedem data viitoare. Vă mulțumim!